All right, good morning or afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. We are going to move on in our notes, and we're going to be looking at arithmetic series. Now, if you did not do 4.4, you need to do that first, or else you're going to be very, very confused. We're specifically talking about arithmetic sequences and looking at what happens when we add the terms together. And before we do that, you need to remember the explicit formula for arithmetic. You remember it's AN equals A1 plus D times N minus 1. And this formula right here is going to help you find one specific term in the list. We tag that along with sigma if we want to find the sum of multiple terms. So what you're going to do is if you're asked to find the sum, you're going to use sigma. And on the bottom of sigma, you're going to put n equals 1 because we're starting with our first term. And then however many terms we're adding, that's going to go on top. And then the explicit formula goes out to the side. And we do not have to do this by hand. Desmos allows us to do sigma. So in sigma, what you're going to do is just type the word sum, and it's going to pop it up. Now, here's something that I have found out. You have to add parentheses around your formula. Okay. And I'll show you what I mean by that, just specifically in Desmos because of order of operations. So we're going to jump into an example. I've given you the sequence 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, and I said find the sum. When you are finding the sum, that means we're going to be using sigma in the first 8 terms. So automatically I'm going to be doing sigma because it has told me to find the sum. It didn't tell me to find the 8th term, the 8th number on the list. It wants me to add up the first 8. So in sigma, I'm going to put n equals 1 on the bottom and 8 on the top. And then we're going to put big O parentheses around my entire explicit formula. We're going to do the A1 plus D n minus 1 because this is an arithmetic pattern. It adds 3 every time. So A1 is 5 plus the common difference is 3. We're adding 3 every time. And then we're just going to leave n minus 1. You already put the 8 here. Don't put it here as well. Now you're going to go into Desmos. And I have the app on my phone. You can just download Desmos. It's a little harder to do on your phone. Actually, let's see. So I'm going to type SUM, and there it pops right up. It already has the n equals, so I'm going to put 1. Gotta click up here, type in 8. Now, when I go to the side, I have to add these outside parentheses, okay, or else it doesn't do it correctly. And we're going to type 5 plus 3. We're going to add more parentheses and type in n minus 1. Close those and then close the other ones. If you don't put the outside parentheses, you will not get the correct answer. The same thing goes for on the Chromebook. And you get 124. All right, number 2. Let's look at the sequence. 10, 15, 20, 25. Notice you are adding 5 every time, which tells me it is arithmetic. It says evaluate. That just means find, get the answer. Evaluate S13. That just means sum of the first 13 terms. So when I'm doing sum, I know I'm going to need sigma. N equals 1 is going to go on the bottom. 13 is going to go on top because I'm finding the sum of the first 13 terms. Go ahead and put those parentheses so that you remember to type them into Desmos. And then on the inside, you're going to write your explicit formula. And so we start with A1. My common difference is 5. So we're going to put plus 5 because it's a positive 5. And then n minus 1. Now I want you to go to Desmos, and we're going to type this in. We're going to type SUM, sum. It's got a blank, n equals 1 on the bottom. Click up here, 13. Go to the side. We're going to make the big outside parentheses. 10 plus 5. Make my new parentheses, n minus 1. And really, you don't have to put your closing parentheses. It does it for you. And you'll see that we get 520. Sorry, that was really loud. I dropped that. Okay. All right, number 3. If we look, we're going from 1 to -1 to -3 to -5. So we need to figure out what the common difference is. You probably can see that it's changing by 2, but you might be confused as if it's adding 2 or subtracting 2. So if you don't know, go to your calculator and put any of these. -1 plus 2, does that give me -3? No. 1, or -1, sorry. -1 plus -2 is -3. So really, my common difference is -2. And it says find the sum, and then it says n equals 20, so that just means the sum of the first 20 terms. N equals 1 to 20. We're going to put our A1, which is 1. Our common difference is -2, so you can put plus negative, but it's better just to put minus, and then n minus 1. I want you to go to Desmos and type that in. Just for the sake of time, let's skip back, and we'll just do one more together. Let's do number 6. Okay. Here we're going from -16 to -13, -10, -7. So I want to figure out, how do I get from one term to the next? Well, there's a difference of 3 or negative 3, something to do with a 3. If you take negative 16 and you add 3, you do, in fact, get negative 13. So we're adding 3 every time. It says to evaluate S10. So that means the sum. So we're going to do sigma. N equals 1 on the bottom, 10 on the top. You're going to go fill in the explicit formula, which I am not going to tell you right now. I want you to figure that out and then get the final answer. All right. Hope you all have a great day, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow.